Well, everyone, welcome to Unregulated Leadership, the leadership podcast that has turned into a TV show where we're going to interview people all over the world. And so we're starting here in the hometown of our very own Sam. Say hi to the people. And so we came here because we were like, we can't do a TV show where we're talking about the human side of leadership and not be with the humans. And so we have interviewed how many people so far? 5 people from this hometown. And it's been an amazing experience. So, Sam, we would like for you to tell us one thing that, for the people that we interviewed, what made you pick them to be interviewed?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think something that's really important to me, I shared this earlier, is the authenticity. I love authenticity in the people that I surround myself with, the kinds of value for myself. And I think that's something that each of these 5 people embodies. I've seen them in so many different realms of their lives and know how they show up as leaders. And so when I thought about who would I want the people to see, it's these people because they live so authentically no matter what situation they're in.
I love that. We interviewed 5 different people from 5 different professions but each of them had that same loving, openness, friendly. I feel like I've laughed a lot in less than 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
And it has been an amazing experience, right? But I want to talk about one of the things that we talked about yesterday is the way that you make people feel. So y'all, we walked into her house and it was snacks and water and it was just so cute. It was just, the house was just warm. So tell us a little bit about one of the things you talked about, you want to teach people how to create those spaces.
Yeah.
So how did you, what made you want to start creating those spaces for other people?
Great question. Well, first of all, beauty is also one of my values. I love beautiful things. So I want to surround myself with beauty. But I also want to create safe spaces. So this goes all the way back to when I was a hairstylist. It was my first career. And one of the things that I would always say is I want this, when they sit down in my chair, I want this to be the best place they've been all day. Where they can just be relaxed and feel safe. And so I've taken that everywhere that I go. I want anywhere that I am, I want to create this safety zone where people can just relax. Come as you are. You made a comment about how I stay cross-legged.
Yes.
I feel so comfortable.
Yes.
And I want to embody comfort so that others can feel they're okay to be comfortable and come as they are. I just think it's important. I think it's important for growing, for learning, to create this safety. I think people learn the best when they feel safe.
Yeah. I think, when you started, you talked about values and how one of those things are your values. And so it also seems like you surround yourself with people that have very similar values. So it's everything just, these last 24 hours kind of just flowed so naturally just because of the people that you're around. How do you help people where they feel like they have to be around certain people, choose the people that actually have the same values that they have?
Well, I think the first piece is awareness. How do you, if you aren't aware of your own values, how do you surround yourself with people that are like-minded? So I just think it comes from knowing who you are and understanding what makes you feel alive. I shared authenticity is huge to me, and I feel uncomfortable in spaces where I feel I can show up authentically or where I feel like others are authentic. But I know that, that is solidified in my life. I know what is important to me.
So what happens when you come around someone that you're okay, they're not authentic, but they want to, because you make people comfortable.
Yeah.
And so because you make people comfortable, they want to be around you, but they may not know who they are. They may not be authentic. So how do you still maneuver with people that want to be around you, but they're not showing up as themselves because they just don't know who they are?
That's a good question. Again, it goes back to the safety. So it doesn't matter if you don't know. I might not. Might not be in my inner circle, right? But it's not like I'm not going to be friends with someone who maybe isn't there yet.
Yeah.
And I think too, the other piece is that when you start hanging around with people who you want to be like, there's kind of, you start to act like them. That's why I don't love to surround myself with people who their first inclination isn't love interest.
Oh, that's good.
I don't want to start moving into those realms. Like, it's really important to me that people I let into my inner circle, and everybody we met is in the inner circle. Really, like, those are people that I value and I value they value. But I do think it's important to surround yourself with people who not like-minded. Like, I don't think we should all be robots. Every person we met is like super unique. But values are important.
Okay, so I think there's a distinction that I feel like we need to clear up.
Yeah.
So you said same values, not like-minded, and we had a conversation yesterday. It's like not necessarily always agreeing.
Yeah.
So I can have the same values, but I don't have to always agree with you.
Yeah.
And we don't have to think the same. So, like, I think one of the comments that you made yesterday is that we don't always have to agree, but we have to create the space where we can actually have open conversation, but we don't always have to agree.
Yeah.
But I think the point that you're making about like your values align. So even though we don't always agree, like the why behind how we show up is similar, but I don't always have to agree with everything that you say for you still to be in my circle. But I think in like real world, I think that's next level, and I want us to, everything that we do on Unregulated Leadership is to help educate and teach people how to show up in the world as your best selves, as the leader that you are, whether you're at McDonald's, Chuck E. Cheese, at church, right? So I want us to help people separate like the two. Like, we don't always have to agree for you to still be in my inner circle and have the same values. I just know why you think the way that you think. And so I think my question is like, how did you get to the place where you were able to like still embody people for their values, but be okay with not agreeing with them?
I think it goes back to the self-awareness. It's like, I know what's important to me. I know what I'm strong in. And if I wasn't, like, if I didn't know what was important to me or what values like I held dear, I don't know that I could see it in other people. Because it's like my self-knowledge helps me to understand maybe or like figure out what somebody else's values are. I mean, and that comes with my relationship. Like, everybody we interviewed, I've known them for a long time. Like, I have a deep, intimate knowledge of who they are already. But again, they're in the inner circle. Okay? I don't necessarily have to align with everybody else who I'm friends with, right? But my inner circle is very important to me. That yes, they align with my values, things that are important, but that doesn't mean they align with my ideas. Because there's multiple people that we disagree. Like John and I said this when we interviewed him. Like, one of the things I love is he's able to hold space for me. And I'm like, I disagree. I can disagree. And he's like, okay, well, let's talk about it. We don't need to come to any conclusion.
Like, that's so good. We don't need to come to any conclusion.
I'd love to hear your views on it, and then he'll tell me his view. So again, we have some of the same values, maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
But I think the one that's so important to me is the authentic piece and holding space for other people's beliefs and values.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what I've taken away from you in this short time that we've had together is the value of knowing who you are, what your strengths are, the things maybe that you might not be strong in, so that you're able to value others.
Absolutely.
What would be the top 3 things that you think can help somebody, if they don't know who they are, find themselves?
Values. Understanding what's important to you.
How do people do that though? Like, how does someone find, like, I think about an exercise that we do at William James when we did that values exercise. Like, what are some, like, you could tell people to go Google that activity, but what are some other things that might help someone find their values?
Well, like you said, values exercise, strengths. And then I do something with my leaders. It's their goals exercises. So you basically write down every goal you could think of on a Post-it note. You give it numbers. So the first one is how interesting it is. Because if it's not interesting, you're probably not going to make the goal happen. And how important it is to you. You multiply those numbers together, you get a big number. And then you start ordering the value or the goals. And what you start to find is that a lot of the goals are kind of similar. And maybe they roll up into this purpose. Now you have this guiding light towards what's most important to you. It doesn't come overnight. It's like, I've been doing values exercises for the last 10 years.
Oh,
it's just I'm on this like journey to find out, like, who am I? Like, what do I love? What's so strong? I heard this quote about Gandhi and how he was like at this meeting of sorts, and he talked for 3 hours straight with no notes. And people were like, well, how did you do that? And he was like, I don't need notes. I know it's like a part of who I am, and it just comes out.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm starting to see that more and more. Like, as I learn more about who I am, it's like starting to like just, I don't need the notes anymore. Like, I'm like, I don't need it because it's such a part of who I am.
Oh, I love that. And I love the fact that you said it's a journey. We live in like this microwave society. We want things quick.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're like appreciating the journey and not like, we don't have to get from point A to Z, like embrace the journey of life, and then and finding that purpose, finding those values. I love that. Is there any like one thing that you want the people to take away?
Well, I want to keep on that. It is a journey, and it isn't. You're picking things up along the way. Like, we're here on the beach. Like, I'm going on a walk and I'm picking up a shell of knowledge, right?
Yes.
And then I'm picking up another one, and like one day you just realize, like, oh, that's the answer. Like, that's the answer to the question. Like, it doesn't happen like that. Maybe it does for some people.
I love that.
It didn't happen like that for me. It's been a long journey, and it's something I'm still working on, actively, like intentionally working on, to make sure that I'm living out what's most important, that I'm super focused on the goal. And the goal is to help people be the best version of themselves. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for bringing us to your town. We have had an amazing time in this last 24 hours. We met some amazing people. We had some amazing coffee. And now we are at the beach, y'all.
Yeah.
We are at the beach. Pier 13. If you know, you know. All right. Bye.